Hey family, welcome to Mo Knows. And what I don't know, we're gonna find out together. We're gonna cook a really quick meal. Won't take long at all. This is my famous enchilada pie. And really quick, so before we got started, I've already preheated my oven to 350. And I've already sauteed a half a pound of ground beef with onion and some garlic. And I like to use a little bit of Slap Your Mama and a little bit of nature seasoning. No more than maybe a teaspoon of each, give or take, whatever your taste buds call for. That's just me. Use any seasoning of your preference. To get started, we've already have our brown ground beef. But because I like to sneak in the veggies, we're also going to use some baby spinach and some chopped and cleaned mushrooms. So I've got my skillet on medium. I just want to get my butter going. I want to saute my mushrooms first in butter because I just like that silky taste that you get when the mushrooms are sauteed like this. And while that's going, I'm going to reach over and pop some spinach in here along with it, and then add a little bit of garlic. You can use any kind of spinach you like. I like baby spinach because the leaves are smaller. So I'm going to take a handful of spinach, not a lot. This is a good way to get your vitamins in there. So you don't need a lot of spinach. I don't want the spinach to overpower the meat. A little bit of diced garlic, not too much. And that'll just give an extra pop of flavor. So we're just gonna let this cook down. And I'm thinking, because I really love spinach and this is what I like, I'm gonna pop a little bit more spinach in here. Just a handful, not too much. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking some of my meat. I like to leave the fat in my bowl and incorporate it how I want it because fat is flavor. So I'm not going to put all of my meat in here. And if I have meat left over, and this is ground chuck, so let me just say that this is ground chuck. I don't use ground beef. So because of the meat eaters in the house, I decided to add the rest of the meat. But to get in the flavor that I like, I'm just going to make sure I toss all my veggies around and incorporate as best I can. I've just added some more spinach off to the side. And so while that's cooking, I'm going to turn my fire on low. Okay, so I'm gonna get the black beans started. And remember, this is a quick meal. I'm gonna put some onion in my pot first. And I want you to notice that there are lines going down the onion this way. So you want to cut, not from where the root was, but you want to cut lines, but not all the way touching the root. So this will help you dice. I don't need a lot of onion. This is enough. This is about 2 tablespoons of onion, maybe 3. I'm going to put my fire on medium heat and add a teaspoon of butter, and then add my onion. Okay, I'm going to let that get cooking. In the meantime, let's stir the extra spinach in that I added. So now we see that the butter and onion are cooking. We're just gonna stir the butter and onion together just a little bit. I don't necessarily need to wait for the onion to become translucent in this case. So now let's add the black beans. I like to use Goya brand. You can use any brand that you like. These I did not drain because I also like the liquid of the black beans. And just to give the black beans a little bit more punch, I'm going to add some cayenne. So I like to put a little bit of cayenne just for a little bit of kick. Spoon of cayenne. Get that stirred around. And now we can put our fire on low. And now that we've got the ingredients we want in the black beans, for now, we're gonna put a lid on it, and now we're gonna prepare the corn. For the corn, I like to do it similar to Mexican street corn. I'm gonna start with a couple of tablespoons of room temperature butter. Okay, now, I like any corn, whether it's cream style or whether it's just the niblets. So today, we're going to use the cream style corn. Doesn't matter which brand, use whatever brand you want. So the butter is melting, looks good. So I'm going to give 1 heaping tablespoon of Miracle Whip to this pot. And I'm going to get that stirred in. And I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, it's delicious in the end. So now that I've got that in there, you can use any kind of grated cheese that you like. I like the Parmesan and Romano grated cheese blend, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to sprinkle in here about 2 tablespoons for this pot. And what is Mexican street corn without some spice? I love cayenne, and since I don't have babies in here like I said, I'm going to add some more cayenne. This one I'm going to add a little bit more because I really love this flavor in the corn. Let's get that stirred up. Same thing here. We're going to leave the stove on low heat. The piece de resistance. I like to use yellow corn tortillas, any brand you like. Again, it doesn't matter what brand, but I like the spice. So I'm going to use hot enchilada sauce in the can. So now we're getting ready to start building the layers. We've got a little bit of our enchilada sauce in the bottom of the pan. We have the corn tortilla shells in the pan. And like I said, you can just fold them. They're soft. I like the yellow corn. You can use white corn. Then I have my Mexican blended cheese. And to top it off, I'm going to use some queso fresco. And let's begin. Okay, so this is our first layer. Now I'm going to put some cheese. Okay, so now I'm gonna get our enchilada pie in the oven. We can turn off the corn and we can turn off the black beans. Family, I want to let you know that cooking time is a perfect time for you to bond. Cooking is a great time to bond with the family. Whether we're quarantined or not, this is a time for you to be able to sit and discuss the day, relax, unwind, discuss the day, and find out what's going on with all your loved ones. And there are always little shortcuts, making sure that your fridge is arranged, making sure that your freezer is arranged, and making sure that you have everything you need on hand. Until next time, thanks for joining me, and be great.